Hey, this is Justin Robbins with the Robbins Family Homestead over here at YouTube. We are here at the Freedom Studio. LT Weiss and Northern Realty has been gracious enough to allow us to use his studio today so that we could bring the homesteading community some great value. I always wanted to add my value to the group here on Facebook and YouTube, and the best way that I can do that is sharing some of my experience in real estate. I've been a real estate agent for 13 years, both in Tennessee as well as Utah. I've done multiple seller finance deals myself. My mentor, George, has done millions in seller finance deals on farms, commercial properties, investment properties, as well as single family. And so I just wanted to come to you guys and share that experience and share that knowledge with you, because I know there are many times and places that seller finance could be used, especially for the homestead community, whether it be you're moving to a new area and you don't have 2 years of employment history, or it's just a new area and you don't have a relationship built with that bank. Biggest disclaimer I have is don't burn a bridge with these sellers. That is why it's such a difficult thing and has such a bad rap to sellers to do seller finance, is because they have been burned in the past, okay? Also, let's clarify seller finance versus lease to own or rent to own, okay? So lease or rent to own is essentially just a fancy way of renting a property and for the owner being able to get a large down payment or option money that then they can then take when you don't follow through on your end. So seller finance, though, deed actually goes into your name, okay? So you're able to take advantage of the tax benefits for write-offs. You're able to refinance the property, or if values go up, you're able to list that property with an agent or for sale by owner and sell that property. Whereas a lease or a rent to own, you are not able to do that because you are not physically on title, okay? So let's make sure we understand those differences, okay? When you're looking for a property that is going to be able to work for a seller finance for a farm or a homestead, just make sure you understand that many of these properties are not going to be listed that way, okay? You're going to actually have to go and basically submit your letter of intent or your sales pitch to the owner, to the seller, of why it would be beneficial to them as well as yourself to do a seller finance option, okay? My recommendation, and I'll provide this letter of intent that we use, disclosure on that, I'm not an attorney, okay? I'm not acting as your agent in any way, shape, or form. By providing you this letter of intent, this blank document that you can then fill out, you're using that at your own risk, okay? However, it's what George has used for years. It's what I've used on many of these seller finance deals. It's a great item because it's a one-piece sheet that lays out all the terms in an easy, understandable way for the seller or the property owner. So that way when you make this offer through the letter of intent, they don't have all this 6-7 pages to understand. And then once you guys come to terms with that letter of intent, then you could go to an attorney, have it written up in a proper contract, and then go with like a third-party escrow company to handle the payments, taxes, escrows, things like that, okay? So when you're looking for a property, you're gonna wanna utilize Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups, local classifieds, as well as Craigslist, okay? You can certainly search using terms like seller finance, rent to own, lease to own, owner finance, or selling on terms, things like that. You can use terms like that to try to find the properties. They're going to be a little bit more difficult because, again, they don't advertise that. My suggestion to you, don't get attached to an area or a home or a farm or a homestead. Pick 2 or 3 areas in different states that would be suitable for your needs and just start making offers. Send that letter of intent with your terms to these property owners, to these sellers, okay? Like George has always taught me, on some years he'll submit 1,200 offers in order to get these properties he gets, okay? 1,200. So don't fall in love with one, because seller finance, you're gonna have to adjust your must-haves and your likes and wants and desires, because you're not gonna get everything just because seller finance deals They're a little bit more difficult to do. It's not like you're walking into the perfect farm and offering a conventional offer to them with conventional financing, okay? So you're gonna have to make some sacrifices. That being said, what you're gonna wanna do on the letter of intent, you're gonna wanna do payments at a 30-year amortization schedule with a 3 to 7 year balloon payment, which basically means you will have that owner paid off in 3 to 7 years, whether you've sold the property, whether you pay the rest off with money you've saved, or you refinance it to a conventional loan, okay? And let's stop for a minute there. If you're gonna do a farm loan or a conventional loan, there are a lot better options than seller finance, lower interest rates. So you eventually do want to have that be your goal. And I will do another video here in the future explaining how you do a farm loan, who you go contact for a farm loan, and how you find the appropriate extension officer to handle that, okay? So on the seller finance, we're gonna do 30-year amortization schedule, so that keeps your payments to where it's an affordable rate, 3 to 7 year balloon payment. Generally, on a seller finance deal, you're gonna offer close to double the current prime interest rate. So let's say they're sitting around 3.25, you would offer 5 to 6%, okay? In some cases as well, don't skimp on the purchase price. This is not a time or a place to do that. In fact, on a lot of the seller finance deals we've done, we've actually gone over list price to give the owner an incentive on why they should do a seller finance, okay? Why they should wait a couple years for their money, okay? So keep in mind, this is a great fit for a lot of people, but if you're able to do a farm loan, stick to a farm loan. The other thing is when you're buying or selling a property, especially a homestead or a farm, you want to use an agent that understands farms. They understand property rights, they understand water rights, they understand wells, septics, all of that nature, okay? 99% of the agents don't understand that. I have experience in both of those. Feel free to call or text me, 801-499-0214, and I'm more than happy to, if you're in Virginia, Tennessee, Alabama, I will interview agents for you, and I will find the appropriate agent who can help you and serve you the best when it comes to buying or selling that farm, that homestead, or that ranch, okay? Don't make a mistake by hiring especially an agent who, you know, is a big agent in the city and they know nothing about livestock, they know nothing about, you know, property lines, surveys, you know, everything that could possibly go wrong, they don't know because they are not in that realm. I have a homestead. I've raised animals for years. I grew up with animals, families who own, you know, my family's always owned a farm or a ranch. So feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help anytime. In the comments, if you don't mind, let's hear what you would like the next video to be. Maybe we'll, like I said, maybe we'll go over a farm loan. Maybe we'll go over how you can do an FHA loan for a farm, different things like that. And if you have any questions, obviously feel free to put them in the comments and I would be glad to answer. Again, I'm here just to try to provide the homesteading community with what knowledge I have and be a valuable asset to the community rather than always take. So anyways, please like and subscribe and let me know what you guys want to hear next. Have a good one.